Hello and welcome to the Baker's Dozen technical demonstration. Today, I, your host, Clay Kilster, am going to be taking you through a program of Baker's Dozen and its functionality. So, to start off here, I want to show you our first program. This is the raw inventory program. This program is very simple and just used to make sure you always know what's in your raw inventory and you can always add to that raw inventory. So, what is raw inventory exactly? Well, this is any ingredients you're going to be using to make your final products. As you can see here, we have all this raw inventory listed. This includes things such as baking powder, ground ginger, honey, milk, sugar, vanilla extract, and whole wheat flour. All of these products will be used at some point for a different product. Of course, not every product will be used today. However, the big one I want you to focus on is baking powder. So right away here, let's say we got a shipment of baking powder in. We need to add that to inventory. How are we going to do that? Well, first off, let's go to this Add Product Here button. Let's click it, and it's going to pop up a little window that says, scan the barcode you'd like to add. Okay. We're going to scan the barcode for baking powder and hit OK. Now it's going to ask us, how many grams of baking powder would you like to add? Well, let's say our shipment was for 800 grams of baking powder. Let's add that in, hit OK, and it's going to ask us to confirm that number. Are you sure you want to add 800 grams of baking powder? I'm pretty sure I said I want to add 800, so yeah, I would say I want to. And as you can see, it's updated in the program now to add those 800. So just to confirm, because I like to double check everything, we're going to come to our SQL database here. As you can see here, we have the ingredients, the number of those ingredients, the measurement, the limits, and our OU. Of course, the only thing we want to focus on today more is the ingredients, the number of, and the limits. The OU and measurements are used for the email system to keep track of what each product is using. So, as you can see, the number of baking powder right now is 400, but once we refresh, it's going to go up to that 1200. This lets us know, okay, our product was actually added and we know we're good. So, let's say though, some of that baking powder goes bad and maybe we can't actually use that shipment. We need to remove it from inventory and go back to that old 400. There's no undo button per se, but we can individually remove it ourselves. So, we're going to click this remove product button here, and it's going to pop up a new little window. It says, scan the barcode you would like to remove. Well, just like before, we're going to scan the barcode for baking powder again. We enter that in and hit OK, and it's going to ask us how many grams of this baking powder would you like to remove. Now, let's say we want to remove 750 of that. 50 grams of it is still usable, but 750 of it isn't. Let's say that, just for the hypothetical. So now we've entered 750. We're going to hit OK. It's going to make sure we confirm. Again, we hit yes. As you can see, it's been updated to 450. But let's make sure it's in the SQL too. So we come here, refresh, and as you can see, it's been updated to 450. Wonderful. So now that we have this all figured out, how about we actually get into some real baking and actually, use the programs. So that's where we get to our second program here. This is our final product inventory program, sorry. This program here is going to be used to make sure that you can keep track of your final products and also make sure you're adding those final products to your inventory. Now before we begin, I just want to give you a quick little tour of the GUI here per se. It's split into 6 boxes on the left side. Each box has its own individual products based on what they are. So we have muffins, bagels, cookies, cake, cupcakes, and then bread. Okay, what product do we want to make today? I say let's make a chocolate chip muffin. Why not? So we go add product, and it's going to ask us, oh, sorry. Before we do that, I actually do want to set a limit for our baking powder. So what is a limit per se? A limit is basically a number that I'm going to set that basically says, if the product goes under this number, please send me an email telling me this information. So baking powder currently is 450. That's cutting a little close to 0. We use a lot of baking powder here, so I do want to make sure we are going to keep track of that. So let's go back to our program here and click this settings button. We're going to click that, and it's going to pop up a new window that says, please select the product you would like to edit the limit for. Well, the product we were talking about earlier was baking powder, so let's do that. We click baking powder, and it's going to pull up a new little window up here that says, enter the new limit for our product, baking powder. Okay, we know currently we have 450 baking powder inventory. And we want to make sure we're on top of that. So let's set our limit to 400. Hit OK. And now if we check our SQL database, we should be able to confirm that changed. As you can see, it has changed. So let's get to actual baking now. All right, I'm going to hit this add product button here, and it's going to make you scan the barcode. So let us scan the barcode for our chocolate chip muffins. Hit OK. And bam. It takes a second there because it has to do some checking with the inventory. But as you can see, we got 12 chocolate chip muffins. Now let's just confirm that it went to the database here. As you can see, it has gone to the database, and all our inventory numbers have changed as well. As you can see, our baking powder is 385, chocolate's 304, egg is 399, and milk is 275. Now, let's check our email here quickly. We got an email from our system that says product baking powder is under set limit, currently at 385. So, since our product is under our current limit, let's go in and change that actually. So let's just fix this quickly. We're gonna go back in here and add a product. Let's round it back up. So let's add 200. Yes, it's at 585. We're safe again. Wonderful. Let's just confirm that went through. And bam. Now we shouldn't get an email again. So we saw that. We can move that to trash now. All right. Now that we've fixed all our inventory numbers, let's add the product again. So we have 24 muffins now. And if we check our database, our email again, we shouldn't be receiving an email. This is actually a very key feature we wanted to have in there to make sure that you aren't just getting spammed with emails from our inventory system. We'll check again, and as you can see, nothing's been sent. Wonderful. This right here is the Baker's Dozen inventory tracking website. This is a website that is accessed across the network. And the whole point of this website here is simply to make sure that users can always make sure they have up-to-date inventory numbers, even if they're not hooked up to the SQL database. So you simply go to this website and you have two options. You can either see the current raw ingredients or the final products. We're going to do both. So let's click first of all the current raw ingredients. We click that number and bam. Here we have a list of all our ingredients and then what they're at currently. So as you can see, we'll compare these numbers here with our program. 585, 400, yep. And let's compare that with the database here too. 585, 585. All right, everything looks good there. Let's check out our final products now. All right, we should only have 12 chocolate chip muffins. So let's check that out. Yep, we have 12 in the program. We have 12 in here. And in our SQL database, we have 12 as well. Wonderful. So me as the administrator now can understand, okay, cool. We have enough products to make it. Thank you for watching the Baker's Dozen technical demonstration. I hope you've learned something about our program and who we are through this. If you would like to learn more information about Baker's Dozen, please go to the description down below where you can watch our other video detailing more of the project, or go to our website in which we actually have all the documents and information on our project located. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.